Okay, so in this PowerPoint, we're going to be going over risk management software. So first, we should ask, what is risk management software? Um, this is a process of identifying, assessing, and controlling financial, legal, strategic, and security risks to an organization's capital. Um, so, I'm sorry. We should define what is risk management. We'll get to the risk management software in the next slide, but risk management is what you want to target with the different software tools. So, um, risks can be brought on by different threats. They can vary from organization to organization based on things like physical location, or perhaps what that organization does. So, for example, say if an organization uh, is located in an area that is prone to hurricanes, that could be considered a risk that the organization or business would have to take into consideration when either building the the actual uh, when they're building the building prior to doing that, or during that they have to have some sort of maybe budget to fund any damages um, uh, that they may incur for that risk. Or if another example would be if a organization dealt with, say, like a contractor with the government, they're a defense contractor, and they were working on, I don't know, some specific project, then they could in theory be targeted for um, they could be targeted for, I don't know, some sort of national security secret. So you'd have maybe some persistent threat actors out there from other countries, and it's up to the organizations to determine what risks are more important. So going back to the physical location, so if there was so I'm currently living in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We don't have any threat of hurricanes here. An organization that decided to pop up here, they wouldn't have that risk of, flooding or wind damage or anything that may come along with a hurricane. So they wouldn't have to worry about that. But if they did deal with defense contracting and national security, then they do have to consider those risks and um, and address them as needed. So, what is risk management software? The primary purpose of risk management software is to help organizations um, with their risk management plan. So it's basically a tool that they can use. They could use them to, or use risk management software to identify risks. Some softwares, some programs, I should say, offer the ability to assess risk a based on a specific situation or input. So you could say, okay, well, I'm going to input this specific risk or this potential risk into the software, and that program will estimate um, how great of a risk it is to the organization based on a bunch of different criteria. And next, we're going to be going over three different brands or programs uh, that are risk management software. The first one is called Audit Board. Audit Board is cloud based. It performs audits, risk and compliance management audits. Some of the features include internal controls management, compliance management, mobile access, risk management, etc. Some of the pros that I had found on Audit Board were it was easy to create. It was easy to use as an efficient tool, as there was constant updates going on automatically. It was user friendly, control reporting, control testing. Some of the pros. Some of the cons that I had found was it can be difficult to amend different risks with little intervention from the platform. So from what I understand, if you want to make an amendment to a risk that you are, I guess, compiling or configuring in the system, it's difficult to do so, and there's very little help from the program itself. So it sounds like it's a manual thing that it does. It's not something that you can use. There's not a tool that is in the program that allows you to make it easier to amend. And some of the user interface isn't always easy to understand. So from what I'd read, directions weren't clear. And then the next one we're going to go over is called Resolver. Resolver is also cloud-based. It allows users to collaborate and collect data across enterprise to understand risk a little bit better. It uses automation to report and mitigate risks. Some of the pros are you can customize based on an area in an organization. From what I understand, it's like you can customize different departments and so on. And it seems like they have good customer feedback, so Resolver will listen to some of the users and take suggestions based on what users are telling them. Some of the cons that I found were there was a lack of training on the product, so you couldn't really find a whole lot to help understand some of the things in the program. Sometimes when, I guess, updating risk content, the system would automatically update, and you'd have to go back and research your entire database in order to find that risk content. And some things didn't seem to always be easily searchable. And then the third program we're going to go over is Continuum GRC. It's also cloud-based. It heavily uses automation to map out different things like standards, documentation, real-time status, etc. The Continuum GRC supports frameworks like the NIST publications and DoD SRG, along with other frameworks that are commonly used in this field. Some of the pros that I had found were they had great customer service. The program was easy to integrate with existing technology, and the program also has a large coverage of different standard compliance frameworks like the NIST publication. A couple of the cons, I didn't find too many cons for this one, but one of them was I guess it could be difficult to scale across large teams. So from what I had read, some people had problems with integrating it and then scaling it out. It's more easily used among small teams. And some versions, it seems like they continuously update their program, but some of the versions are less usable than others. It seems like newer versions have fixed a lot of the problems. So I guess as long as you update to the newest versions, then a lot of the problems that people complain about aren't they fixed anyways. And that's it. Thank you.